Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. I hope you're all doing great. So, I know I'm back on the 2nd of January, but this is because we have a new moon, which is happening at about 6:30 this evening. I'm recording this about 2:45 on Sunday, the 2nd of January. So, I'm going to look at the energies around this new moon and also talk to you about some of the planetary transits at the moment in January, because it's quite interesting actually what's going on. So, as many of you know from the Facebook group, I am not a professional astrologer, but working in metaphysics and with spirit, it's all part of the same family. It's all complementary, just like numerology, quantum physics. They all actually tie in together. When you work with spirit, you work with all forms of creation. So, new moons are always about new cycles opening up. I think it's brilliant that we've got a new moon so early in the year. On a Sunday, I think it's a really great time to manifest. I'm getting the sense around this new moon that it's great to purge before you manifest. So manifest with some clarity. So in the tarot, I mentioned this on the Facebook post, on the tarot, this would be the card of that corresponds to Capricorn, which is the devil. So now it's not all doom and gloom, okay? So this is about releasing the bonds that tie you. So it's about it's about being controlled by materialism, thinking this is the only way. It's about tyranny of the physical body and senses. But this for me is a card of feeling very it's out of control. So I think this is where maybe the purge side is coming up. It's also can be linked with lust and greed, and it can be about the value of pleasure for its own sake. But the thing is, what I love about Capricorn is it's a very practical energy. So we've at the moment we've actually got the sun and the moon in Capricorn. So I think it's about 9 degrees in Capricorn at the moon, and it's going to meet the sun later on today, obviously in the next few hours. So, but also this can be about, it can be a good omen, this card, depending on what cards come around it, because it's about unbreakable bonds. So you can see here, this is about releasing the bonds that hold you back. And it could be that starting off this year, if there's been discontent and depression caused by an overwhelming force within, it's going to be a great time to look at this, to shed some light on it. Remember, new moons are always the energy of emotions. It can be very much sometimes hidden from view. Now, just don't want to do a 101 with astrology, but to help you to understand, because some people say to me, I don't quite understand it. And the thing is, you don't have to. Like people like myself, we enjoy breaking it down in a way to help you, to encourage you to get to know yourself and your chart. So the planets, like the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus and Mars, we call these like the personal planets, which affect our personalities and immediate relationships. So obviously the sun changes signs every month, the moon every couple of days. Mercury is a bit longer, and so is Venus and Mars, depending on the year, the sign it's going through, but they'll have transits of, say, like a few months or a few weeks. So as these planets are transiting through a specific astrological sign, what you will find is that will have a collective, like a macro effect. But also, when you look at this, the other layer of this is that where that planet is transiting through that sign will have an impact on your own chart, because your own chart, where you have your sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and then you've got the distant planets, which are like Pluto, Uranus. I've forgotten them all now. I should know this, shouldn't I? So Pluto, Uranus, let me have a think. some of you probably shouting at this down the phone to me, down the computer. Saturn, Neptune, Chiron. Okay, these are other planets. These will all also they have an effect on how we interact with the world in a more general way. So they're more like affect collective patterns. So for instance, at the moment, Pluto has been going through Capricorn. These planets have longer transits. So the Pluto transit is many, many years, at least a couple of decades. But funnily enough, we've got now the Sun, Moon and Venus and Pluto in Capricorn. Then when a planet goes retrograde, it's doing a revamp over that sign. So what this means is, we've all heard of the Mercury retrograde. It's going over, it's like doing a reassessment, and we get a chance to regroup, reinvent sometimes, re-establish, a redo. It's an upgrade. A lot of people fear retrogrades, but actually they can be very internal, intense times where a lot can be revealed that ends up being very helpful on our journey. So Venus at the moment is going through Capricorn and it's retrograde. It's about 22 to 23 degrees of Capricorn, but also, so it's going backwards over that sign. So each sign has about 30 degrees, so it will go back and then it will start to move forward. Now this Venus retrograde in Capricorn, I've just got like where it is right now, and I'm just having a look to see when it ends, and I think it doesn't end until, I'll check this, but maybe March. It's not saying at the moment on my astrological report here. But this Venus retrograde, what it's doing is, Venus is the sign of harmony and affection, but it's how we relate. It's how we relate to people in our lives, not only in love, but in our intimate relationships. It could be with family, it could be with friends, it could even be with work colleagues. It's how we relate with other people, and it's also how we relate to ourselves. So Venus in Capricorn, it's not necessarily a natural home for Capricorn. Venus is more at home in signs like Pisces, Libra and Taurus, because they are associated with beauty and art, which are the archetypes of Venus. Venus likes money, it likes glamour, it likes art, it likes beautification, it likes it's like bring it on, bring all the good stuff in life. And in Capricorn's very practical. It's not as showy in that sign. It can almost sometimes be a bit rigid and cold, and I don't mean that in a negative way. But if we think about this, we're getting this redo over relationships. So I would interpret this as we're getting a way to practically apply a new way of how we want to relate based upon what we've learned about ourselves moving forward. So I hope I haven't lost any of you there. So we've got Mars in Sagittarius, and then it enters Capricorn on the 24th of January. Jupiter is in Pisces, and and it's in Pisces for quite some time actually. Then we've got Saturn in Aquarius up until June the 4th this year. And then we've got Uranus, the planet of like revolution, that's been in Taurus for about 4 or 5 years now. I think it's over halfway through its transit. Now that's going to be station retrograde in Aquarius at, let's have a look. Oh no, sorry, Uranus. That's going direct. So that's been going retrograde in Taurus. So Taurus has been getting a redo. Or the area, where Taurus is in your chart. So that's going to move forward on the 18th of January. So that's going to be interesting. And then we've got Pluto and Capricorn, which has been this good, this long transit. But I have to say with Pluto and Venus, they're going to be together quite close over the next 2 to 3 months. This is what I'm seeing. So they're going to be like, at the moment, Pluto is in Capricorn at about 25 to 26 degrees, but it's also, Venus is in Capricorn at 22 to 23 degrees. So they're very, very close. almost like within 2 degrees, 2 or 3 degrees. They say it's conjunct, which means that two planets in the same sign around the same area. So it gets heightened, it gets highly impacted. So what I would say as well is that around this area, Pluto is complete regeneration from, you know, it's Scorpio. It's very like, you know, it's the phoenix rising from the ashes. So it could be that over Venus and Pluto, we could be seeing the return of people to heal relationships in our lives. Or also there could be deep regenerative healing available to us around this time, around Venus, not only with other people, it could be our relationship to ourselves. Venus is very much to do with our, not necessarily our physicality, but our sexuality as well. It can be to do with how we relate with our physical bodies and intimacy. And you know, the dialogue that we have to do with sexuality in our world, and that's changing. So those are just some ideas around that, guys. So that's just a little bit of an update with the astrology with you. So we've got a lot of pink and purples today, so a lot of kind of a fruity tooty colours. Reminds me of ice cream, all these different colours when I've been in Italy, and you know, you go into the shops. Hopefully one day soon it will be easy for us all to travel. Let's hope and pray on that one, guys. Right, so let's move that devil card away, and I'm going to ask Spirit now, guys. So it's over to you. What would you like? Oh, that's just flown out. What would you like to tell us around this new moon in Capricorn? Any messages from you, Spirit? Okay. So these are the Muse cards by Chris Ann. So I'm going to use these. I'm going to put all the cards together. I'm going to use the Astral Realms Crystal Oracle. So continuing on, please, any messages for us all? Anybody listening at any point to this video? Messages for the new moon in Capricorn 2022. Let's see what's coming through. Okay. So 2 cards there. Let's put these at the top. Right, and then what I'll do is I'll just do a brief overview of the energies around Capricorn, which covers everybody. If you know where Capricorn is in your chart, it's even more powerful to manifest in the house that it's in, because that's the area it's ruling in your chart. And then these are the Work Your Light Oracle cards from Rebecca Campbell. So this is for the new moon in Capricorn. Right, okay, and these are all coming together, so they want those. I'm going to put those back in. I'm going to ask Spirit just, okay, they'll bring out the same cards anyway, they always do. Right, okay, so energies around Capricorn: future security, handling responsibility, reaching goals, success recognition, management skills, authority figures, releasing controlling tendencies. Now it's interesting because this really came out in the 2022 reading as well. About last year was bringing up a lot around authority. Who do we actually know what we want? Are we able to relate to ourselves? Are we connected to our spirit and our soul so that we are our own inner authority, or do we give our power away to outside agencies? Capricorn also rules areas like time, making sensible decisions, maturity, retirement, old age, self-discipline, adult behaviour, keeping commitments, competency and public image. That also came up again in the reading for 2020 about public image and things being revealed around people who are famous in the first 3 months of the year. Other areas: ambition, defining goals, using opportunities, professions and hard work. So the reason I'm giving you these areas is because this is helpful if you want to manifest. If you manifest in the energy of Capricorn, it's even more powerful. Other areas, again, it's about social status, it's about achieving goals, recognition, accomplishments. I mean, what a great moon to start the year off, guys. It's about being in charge, it's about respect, it's about delegating responsibility. It's also about following protocol. Now, whether anybody wants to manifest in those areas, It also rules, it's around the 10th house. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is cycles of time in astrology. That's the planet that's all about slow and steady wins the race. Like Saturn doesn't rush, it's in no urgency to do things. It's tried and tested means. So Saturn is like father, bosses and authority figures, tradition, reputation. But also it could be that, you know, you might want to manifest releasing the shadow side of Capricorn, which can be this, you know, this devil energy that we're talking about, which is, you know, addictions and things that control your life, that you don't feel free, that you feel controlled by them. It can be a lack of joy, it can be sternness, fear of new approaches, pessimism, inflexibility and self-justification. Areas around the body, bones and joints, gallbladder and gallstones, knees, skin, psoriasis and itching, arthritis and rheumatism. So it's those areas of the body. Again, Saturn is about, you know, it's about getting down to bare bones. Right, so those are the areas for Capricorn for you guys. So let's start with the Chrysan cards, and we've got the 5 of inspiration here. So this can be the 5 of wands. So this can be is it the 5 wands? I just need to check this. I always get mixed up with these cards, guys. So yes, it is. It's the 5 of. It always throws me off when I think, is it swords? No, it's not. It's what I thought it was. The 5 of wands. So as you can see here in the card, she has got loads of different ideas here, almost being a little bit ungrounded and a little bit, well, I'm not sure. I've got all these ideas flipping around my head right now, and I don't quite know which portal to walk through. Okay. Right, so these cards don't come up upside down as far as I know. I'm not taking them upside down. But what Spirit is saying here for many people at the start of the year is it's a bit like the last 18 months, as we know, it's thrown people's ability to dream and wish a little bit down the pan. Because it's almost like we felt we've not been in control of our lives. But really there was a strong message about this year that this last period has been teaching us not to give our power over to outside agency. Now that is easier said than done, and I appreciate that, but this is where we our true spiritual nature doesn't believe in if we actually tune into our soul believes in freedom for each other. It's just the soul wants what it wants for the next person, what it wants for you. It's about self-respect. It's about standing up for yourself and for others. It's about freedom. And it's almost like there's an energy here, and I don't know if these are just messages for people that need to hear them. I'm just going to go with whatever Spirit wants to say. But I feel like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, because it's like, well, if I do one thing, well, how is that going to happen because of the state of world affairs? And I think what this new moon is guiding us to do is to take back the power into our own lives, and to actually, and I know this because I can see the Muse of voices here, which is the Muse of air, which is to get absolute mental clarity, to take inner authority back from outside where it's been given away. And this is actually in our mental sphere. So again, this is all the programming of fear that has just got really heightened before Christmas. It's almost like made some people a little bit fearful of being able to make a decision, because, well, it might not ever happen. But what Spirit is saying is, no, we've got to be able to pull our energy back in to utilize it. And the way that we do that is with these cards here. So they're saying this Muse of voices here. This is like the King of air. So this is the King of swords. So this is an authoritarian man who doesn't take no for an answer. This is somebody very sharp, quick-witted, very sharp, clear mind, cannot be swayed. by other people's opinions, gossip or attention or drama. This is somebody who just gets straight to the point. And it's interesting because the Mother of Air, which is the corresponding card, but the female, but this is the masculine energy. So this is about taking charge now. So this is about using this moon to manifest. And I know it's an earth sign, but for some people it could be that they need to ground their energy a bit more, because we've got the Hermit card here, and the Hermit is always about going into the cave. It's going into communion with the soul. So this is the card of Virgo, and this can just be, you know, shutting outside noise for a while, going into a quiet place of contemplation to get clarification, to just take some time out. And I know a lot of us have been doing that, but actually to really go within, to convene with your soul, to manifest. And it's interesting because Saturn and the discipline card is turned upside down in the Astral Realms card, and I haven't checked those yet. But also the Nine of Emotions is here. So this is the Nine of Cups. So this is the wish card. I always think this is one of the wish cards. And Spirit is saying to me they want me to read this card to you out of the book. But also this is what's going to encourage you to take your new start, because the Page of Inspiration is the Page of Wands. So this is somebody willing to, it's like what this card is about here is she's had this like bubble of inspiration that's come up. So it's come up from her crown chakra, and this is all her creativity here, and it's manifested, and it's time to take action on the wisdom. And that's what this card is saying. So there's the black cats are there, which are massive omens. Yeah, because the Ten of Emotions, the Ten of Cups is the happy times, the happy family. It's fulfillment on every level. But this is again, I've got to say, is to get, I want this card, and I'm just going what they're showing me. It's just a very, where am I going? There's so many different ideas. I need to ground myself here. You know, I've gone through different portals, but it's now time to get practical and not with any, I almost want to say the drama of the mind needs to be quietened about which way will I go, which way will I turn. And what Spirit is saying is it's very much in the moments of being very, spirituality is very practical. All the years of working with Spirit, they give such practical guidance on our earthly life, because they want to help us, but we've got to want to help ourselves. So I'm going to read this Nine of Emotions card to you, because it's a beautiful card, and it's actually saying that you see, this is saying that you've got, like, look, can you see the lamp, the genie lamp at the bottom? It's like you've got everything that you need all around you. You just got to call it in. Call it in. You know, enough of this nonsense. We've put up with so much nonsense now. And it's interesting because the Pillar of Light and the No card has come out, and I know now why that's come out. Because the No card is sometimes about not rushing. But I'll tune in a minute with that. But I actually feel that this is tied in. It's now time to let the light in and to trust your own, to be your own oracle. Like, they're just being very direct with me here now about the people that will really make it this year will not give out outside agency. They will not constantly just be fed a load of control mechanisms, which is programming, and which is all about living in the past and not empowering yourself. Like, the thing that's coming into my mind is I remember that whistleblower that said all the what did he say? All conspiracies are in clear sight, aren't they, in the world? A lot of it's in our face. Let's get back to the Nine of Emotions. So this is a gift from the universe. Dreams manifested, enjoying your rewards, fulfillment and satisfaction, gifts, and a positive message from Spirit. Rainbow recognition. Now I want to say this is a double whammy message, because we've got this in here, but we've got a rainbow cloud, and it's almost like, are you going to listen? Are you going to take it? Are you going to claim it? You know, are you going to allow Spirit to come in? Or are you going to allow this old, really repressive, controlling energy, which is all about shock, horror, drama? Or are you going to be in this, which is the pillar of light energy. Look at it. This is, again, you get to choose your vibration. You get to choose what you vibrate in. You are the oracle, right? Sometimes it's as simple as floating. The universe doesn't give beautiful endings to those who simply have talent, confidence, faith, or wisdom. It grants them to those who are brave enough to go after what they want. The belief that is needed, only that you are enough to begin. You don't need to be totally there yet to know that you are worthy, loved, and whole. Just put one foot in front of the other. So that's the nod to the practical guidance. When you wish your dreams to life, how big are you making them? Are they luminescent enough to keep you going when things get a little dark? Do they light the way when you forget why you wanted them in the first place? Remember that it can be easy, that it is easy. You too have everything you need to reach out and accept this gift from the universe. It's not other, it's yours. Make a choice to get it because your gift is on the way. A tasted life of wishes brings the ups and downs of joyful strings. And after all my learning sings, my satisfied rewards forth springs. I love these cards. They're so poetic. Again, it's time for you to act on your own inspiration here, because pages are always learning. They're always learning something new. So it could be that something new is coming into your audience and your mental sphere. And I know inspiration is fire, which is also about taking action. But again, it's almost like they want us to listen. It's all in the realms of the ears and the crown chakra. So the clairaudience and the I want to say, clairvoyance. Clairvoyance, right, okay. I want to say with these two cards here from the Work Your Light is that this is just saying allow yourself to rise out of the last period and just let all that shit go. I want to say, can you see, even in the no card, sorry, I always get this wrong back to front with it's like they're going upstairs. Let yourself rise out, let the doorway open, walk the heck through that doorway. And don't let anybody tell you it cannot be done. And I tell you what, I've been round a load of mitherers in my life. And you can't do that. Let it be so. It can be done. Like, how did all these visionaries and these, amazing and mystics and people that believe in miracles, the reason that the miracle comes to them is because they believe that the miracle can happen. Even though they might not even think they're worthy, but they believe the miracle exists. And I love it when Caroline Myce always says that miracle is when God bends the mystical laws of the universe just for you. I think it's the most beautiful thing when she says it, because it's like a jewel. It's like one of these jewels. And the 9 of emotions. I mean, this is a very uplifting reading. Right, okay. Right. Okay, so I want to say this is like an offshoot of carrying on this year. So we've got these cards came out together. So we've got Inner Temple, Devotion, tune into the pulse of your heart. So this is where this energy lies. It's in your heart. It comes from your heart and it illuminates all your chakras, but also your meridians and your energy system. And what Spirit is saying is your heart, your spiritual power is your superpower this year. So, because those of you that are really open to this, and you don't have to be a master of it, guys, you don't have to have it all figured out. But if you are just open to your spirit, you have activated something so powerful within you. You're connecting into the light on this earth to yourself. And what I want to say with that is that this year that is going to be your superpower, because all of the nonsense that goes on out there, you will always come back to your spiritual power, because it will always tell you the truth, and you'll always know what to steer clear of and what not to get involved with, what to believe in, what to invest in. This energy is really bright, it's really clear, it's very, very energetically bright and high. And what that means is that it does require maintenance to keep your energy clean. And I don't mean this in a, like a clinical, like discriminatory way where people aren't good. I don't mean like that. It's like you start to see things in a different light, because the ever unfolding roses here, it says cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. So when your victim, and we all have the victim archetype, rocks up, you'll go, right, I can see what's happening here, I'm not feeling good about this. And instead of kind of going into victimhood, you'll start to see it more and more, and you'll go, right, okay, I'm seeing this as an opportunity to grow here and face something, not to be in a victim and go, why me? Well, why not you? And I know some challenges in life are harder than most. They really, really, really are. And often we need to navigate through them. But what I have really learned with healing is that we have to be ready to receive the healing. I don't work with people really that aren't ready for the healing, because I don't go looking for people to heal. They have to come to me. They have to be ready. Like when you're trying to help somebody but they don't want to be helped because they're in that victim mode. And this is not being harsh to anybody or to anybody that I love or you love, but you can't do anything about it. All they'll do is drain your battery, and actually then you've only got yourself to go, well, actually, this is a waste of my energy here. But what I want to say to you is instead, just leave them to it. Leave them to it. They've got to figure it out themselves. Because you've got your calling here, which is the warrior woman here. Whether you're a man or a woman, it relates to you. So your inner warrior here is calling for your attention this year. This is a sword of truth. It's a sword of clarity. Have you answered your deeper calling? So there's a lot of high vibe energy available to you this year. And I think what Spirit is saying is we can start this off on a real high vibe. We start as we mean to go on. It's not about getting anything perfect to getting it right. It's just about trying, giving it a go. But it's really important not to get distracted by other people's journeys this year. Like people have got to crack on with it. What I found is that people will often just say, they'll ask me for help and things like that, but I only have so much energy in the day as well, and I've got my own business to run, and I'm a one-man band, and I cannot be everything to all people. We can't do that, guys. It's just not going to work this year. This is very, very high vibe, these cards. So I'm just going to say, don't let anybody hold you back on your manifestation this year, whatever you do and however you do it. Right, so the Astral Realms card here, so this is brilliant. So we've got the Universal Chakra, it's Insight and Peach Selenite. So I'm going to read these cards to us. This is a card number 19, 910. So this boils down to number 1, which again is always about new beginnings. And then we've got 2, and it's interesting because we're on the 2nd of the 1st, 2022. And then we've got Alrisha Star, which is Super 7 in its direction. So can you see this is really high vibe energy? There's a lot of light coming in around this time. So there's an opportunity around this new moon to get really clear on where you're heading. But it's all about going within. I don't think this is where anybody can tell you, guys. I think this is something coming from your own soul, because we've got the Hermit card here, and insight is always inner sight, isn't it? So this is in our own inner temple. And what I also want to say to you about this as well is that I think this is why they're saying the purge is just to get a little bit clear. Now, purge could be all of that crap that's stopping you from maybe dreaming big or thinking bigger than what you do, because you might be at the moment, and again, when I say these things, I'm never criticizing somebody, I'm saying it to help you, which is that you might just be very much engrossed in what's going on out there in the world, which I completely understand, and it's now maybe time for you to step back from that, because it's really affecting your energy. It's like if we're around aggressive or angry people, I mean, there's no getting around it, guys. It does impact our energy field. And again, if you think about this inner temple, the ever unfolding rose and warrior woman, there's, you know, we've all got stuff to do this year, and it's very powerful, and it's available to us. Are we going to be available to receive it, or are we going to keep being involved with what's going on out there and other people's dramas, or are we going to get grounded and we're going to get clarification and walk through that portal that's available to us on this new moon? Right, so first card is Insight, number 19. Because I love the cards, because sometimes they'll give you a message in them, and sometimes they'll be like, oh, I'll read them out, because it's also credit to the authors as well, because they have spent so much time creating these beautiful cards, and the writing as well. Words have power. So this is brilliant, because this makes me laugh when the cards just repeat what Spirit have just said. To gain true insight, you must go within. Your body has its own flow of energies or chakras that contain boundless potential to receive messages and clarity from the universe, including your universal chakra. Just want to say also the meaning on this card is purity, healing energy, and protection. The universal chakra is located towards the edge of your upper auric field and is represented by a golden glowing star. It connects you to the universal flow of energy. Think of it as your own personal gatekeeper to the knowledge of the infinite cosmos. While working with your universal chakra, you are able to go beyond your higher self and further develop your psychic abilities. And there you can confer with the divine. When you tap into the universal chakra and its transcendental energies, you become unbound from physical realms and gain ultimate enlightenment. To help activate your universal chakra, use peach selenite in meditation. Peach selenite is a unique crystal that has the capacity to self-cleanse and recharge without your intervention. Much like your body can do with your chakras and energy, it can clear open and activate the universal chakra to elevate your higher self during meditation and spiritual work so you can reach your divine counsel. During meditations, you can break down negativity and reveal truths to yourself and the universe. Peach selenite promotes honesty, purity, and peace, and aids you in healing, balancing, and stabilizing the emotional, physical, and non-physical body. Take a ritual bath with your favorite salts, crystals, essential oils, and herbs. Using your ritual components gives you the ability to supercharge your bath water with rejuvenating vibrations that will cleanse and renew your mind, body, and spirit. I am limitless, I am boundless, I go within to gain insight and understanding. And this again is reiterating what Spirit was saying about this purge. It's like a cleanse. And then Super 7 direction. Let's see what this is. Oh, I realise these cards are next door to each other. Just clocked onto that. This is transformation, lessons, and divine right. Where is your true north? We are all in search of what sets our souls on fire, and a way to find your spiritual direction is to go through the shamanic medicine wheel. To the east is where you feel success and experience victories. To the north is where you will learn survival and where you will experience hardship and sadness. To the west, you will experience transformation and the end of a cycle. To the south, you will receive abundance and learn lessons about your courage and strength. You will experience birth, life, death, and rebirth, as it is your divine right and a sacred path. What will you learn along the way? Set your sights on Alrisha, the brightest star in the constellation of Pisces. It means knot in Arabic and indicates the link that connects the two fish of the Pisces constellation together. This knot is also a representation of connecting your human experience and your divine self. Harnessing the energy of a Super 7 crystal will aid you in each direction you head on your spiritual journey. The combination of these crystals is amethyst, clear quartz, smoky quartz, rutilated quartz, geothite, K-connexonite, sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, and lepidocrocite that contains the metaphysical properties of each crystal, making it healing an energetic powerhouse. Okay. So this is about grabbing a journal and notate and identify which directions of the medicine wheel you've faced. Write down what you learned from that situation, how it allowed you to grow and adapt, and adjust the way you approach and react to the same situation of a similar one in the future. I go forth in each direction to learn my karmic lessons and awaken my divine self. So I love this, guys. And I want to say to you as well about the crystals. So selenite is like... I've got like a selenite point. I'm just going to see if I can just go and get it to show you. And it's basically compressed salt water. That's what they class it as. Let me go and have a look. So I've got two selenites. I've got this selenite, and I've also got this which I sometimes travel with. Now, obviously, peach selenite will be a bit unusual, but what Spirit is saying to me is you can choose any crystal that you want and you program it. So if you've cleansed your crystals in the last full moon, which I did with mine, I got a new set, which I didn't realise were obviously for this year. You can program them in this new moon and tell them what you want to help you bring in the energy into your life, into your physical life. So Spirit is saying, like, again, you work with what you've got. It's not like a prescription. I mean, again, if you're feeling guided to get it and it's available to you, it shouldn't be a massive chore where you're getting stressed about it. You can work with what you've got. They've always said that to me, actually. You can always work with what you've got in the moment. It's, the power of our mental clarity and the power of our mind. It's becoming more and more clearer. All the books that were written 10, 20 years ago, there were all these, like, again, law of attraction books, which were right and very powerful about learning to harness the power of our minds to heal our bodies. And I think a lot of people think it's claptrap, but these are the days now where we're going to really get to see how this practically impacts our lives on a daily basis. We're really seeing this now very overtly in our day-to-day lives, and it's about getting on board with it because it can really, really help us as we move forward. Right, guys, so let's just see if there's one more card for the road. Let's pick another Muse card, and then where are we up to with time? 42 minutes. That's a reasonable time for a video. So a closing card for this new moon in Capricorn, please, Spirit. What would you like to share with us? Just one card would be great, please. And of course, they bring us, this is quite interesting. So a 10 of voices is a 10 of swords. It's letting go of it's like free falling from all the mental conflict. It's time to let that go. And actually the 8 of inspiration is the 8 of wands. So this is where we remove, this is like a big band of restriction that we now move away from. And it might mean for some of you that are in particular restrictive situations that it's now time to leave those. And only you can decide that. No one can decide that for you. But for some people, it can mean making some big changes this year where your situation isn't going to work because your sovereignty is just not being respected, but you respect yourself. This is like the card of like mental torture, the 10 of voices. It's like this, the 10 of swords. It's like it can't get any worse now. The only way is up. And the 8 of inspiration is just saying you walk through that door and you don't look back. Okay. Right, guys, I'm sending you all my love for a brilliant new moon in Capricorn. I hope the astrology wasn't too overwhelming. I like to try and give you as much information, and I do realise in my last video I was talking so fast, so I do apologise. I'm going to try and slow down a little bit. But I also think I don't want to put people to sleep, because when I talk slowly, like when I do meditation, it does put people to sleep. I've got one of those voices, which is a good thing. But I think all it is I get so excited with Spirit. I want to put in as much as I can. But I think this year I'm going to have a little bit of a different approach, because there's no rush either for me with it all. There's plenty of time, and really all we've got is now. yeah, so just have a wonderful, wonderful January, and I'm sure I'll be back soon here with more spirit videos or whatever I get guided to share with you. So all my love and happy manifestation. Take good care. Bye bye.